GM friends, and thanks for tuning in to DeFi-Logic's TA Tuesday live in the Discord server every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. We have a partnership with Blowfin, and our Bitcoin, ETH, and Doge strategies are currently in beta testing on Astrobit. Join us in Discord to learn more. Link is in the video description below. For today's community call, we are reviewing charts for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Popcat, Sharkcat, Total 3, and for legacy markets, S&P500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, US dollar, US 10-year bonds, and finally, gold. With that, over to Eddie.
All right. So, last stream, we barely front-runned the wick I was looking for. It was a little bit frustrating because I didn't catch the very bottom, but I was able to catch a continuation with all the strategies I've gone over time and time again on stream, specifically right here. We had here's the low. This is the high that created the low. Technically, it wouldn't be this one because this is not the lowest low, right? So it'd be this one right here. We had a 4-hour close above it, placed bids into this area, and caught this long up. Now we're into the resistance. I'm watching how we react once we come up here. We have some relatively equal highs right before 68K. 68K is a round number. So I'm watching for something like this to play out. Sweep them, fall back below, short it, and probably would aim for this while taking profit here as well, or into this zone. Probably take profit 1, take profit 2, somewhere into here, with the final being this wick right here. That might not happen though. Dollar's falling off a cliff. I usually don't go over that with you guys, but I was expecting this move on dollar. Alternatively, I don't really know if I would play along into here because this previous all-time high region is just shot. I don't really see the risk to reward being so great to play like a flip of this level, because I just expect it to continue chopping around. Ideally, this is still the long area if we can come all the way down here. And if not, you probably would want to wait to see some daily closes up here to feel safe that we're going to trend to a new high. So for me, it's really not worth it currently with the current price action to long right here. Maybe if we find support down here into the 62 region, though, that could give us another thing. I know that it did sweep that level on the CME, but so that's one thing to consider, that the suits had the sweep. But I've always used the spot on Coinbase and then the perps on Binance to be my levels. Maybe that's different now with all the ETFs and stuff, but for now, in my opinion, we still haven't swept this wick, and I'm still waiting to see if we get it, while just playing in between in the meantime. That's the plan with Bitcoin, watching for this level. All right, so next up, we'll look at Popcat. We've been pretty bullish on Popcat. Sloth I've been in it from the start. I only just added to it. I've never sold a single Popcat token. I don't remember ever the original creator or not seeing any drama. I'm pretty sure it was first mentioned in our server in the initial accumulation stages as well. This was the same thing, so I posted this online as well. Same idea here, right? I know I tweeted it like right here, everyone. It's already gone up over 100%. So if you pay attention to this stuff, it happens often. Yeah, like around there. But same thing, accumulation, manipulation, expansion. And it's flipping new highs too today. That's so awesome. Yeah, it's already retested this. It already did the all-time high retest too. Not really though, because it barely broke out. So I think if you get dips into this, you just long it probably, or just buy it on spot, which is what I've been doing. If you can get into it, like right here, would probably be pretty nice. Or just buy dips on spot. Like I've literally just been buying dips on spot on this for like months. Besides up here when it was making new highs, and then as it dipped again, I started buying it again. The cat pops, and between online, just check out the website. You can see for yourself. You can just Google Popcat, it pops up. Yeah, that's what I'm watching for with this. If it can sweep any of this stuff, or just another now that it's closed above all-time high, you just start to retest it. It's probably not a bad spot to buy more. Any retest into here, just buy more. It could go down pretty far because it's a meme coin and they're very volatile. Aim for new highs. Popcat looks good. Okay, the next one though, I've been super bullish on Sharkcat. So that's the thing. Like all of a sudden, I'm talking about Popcat the last couple day and a half when it's making new highs. And it's so easy to trade in this market because you're against so many sophisticated players that like they got the monkey brain. They see green and they buy. When instead over here on all the war news, it was the perfect time to buy, and there was like me and like one other person I saw online like actively buying this zone. And it was such an easy play. If you think I got around 10 cents. Yeah. So I don't know what it's called, 11. There's somewhere down there. Those buys are up over 300%. It's very profitable to buy war news, unfortunately. That's what it is. But yeah, so anyways, I think the next one we're going to go over is Sharkcat. It's in this stage right now. It finally had its first 90% sell high, which is basically what all these do, right? So if you bought the 90% sell off on the high on Popcat, and in true Chad form, held it all the way up to maybe even only held it to here. Even though it was forming like a nice triangle, that would have been dumb to sell there. So like, let's just say that you were, I don't know, let's just say you sold it out here. Pretty good game. But I think that Sharkcat really good. So I'm gonna go over the story a little bit. So Sharkcat launched when I was on vacation, and one of my friends like told me about the launch, and I thought I was gonna miss out on. I did. I missed out on this huge run up. But I've noticed the entire time on the run up that the community is just getting stronger and stronger. And it's not like the craziest lore story ever, which makes me super bullish on it. So Sharkcat was a meme from Instagram. Somebody found a picture of this cute cat wearing a shark cat. And people just bought it because the cat is cute, the cat's a shark, ends up. It's just very memeable, right? They tried partnering up with the Instagram account. They offered them about $600,000 worth of tokens at the time and to work together. They said no, that they wanted 10% of the supply, which was equal to $20 million. And obviously the community didn't want to give anybody 10% of the supply, especially somebody who has no idea how to run a meme coin. So they said no, and then this big, huge nuke happened afterwards. And then obviously a lot of people bought that. So I bought this initial dip because I was like, why? Obviously you don't want the suits involved. That's greed. Asking for 20 million when you got handed $600,000 just because you took the picture. That's a win in my book. But they wanted more. And it's been this ongoing battle of the suits versus crypto, which if you think back to the origins of Bitcoin, that's what it was all about. It was like fight against the big government, fight against the big banks. Now we wait every Friday close for the banks to close so that our coins can pump. And then we wait again on Sunday and Monday open so that we can see what the big banks are going to do. So now it's become just beta legacy, which is really sad because that wasn't what it was supposed to be. And this coin is like literally going back to the roots of it. The holder count keeps going up, which is great. So more and more people are buying into the lore of F the suits and all this kind of stuff. The cat keeps swimming. And the good part about it too is it's percent down, almost exactly. So the risk to reward is insane here. I've been really very bullish on this whole story of this. Oh yeah, so now you'll see like the cat doesn't have its eyes anymore because that was like an argument that they made that they owned the IP of it, which I don't know if that's true or not. It's their picture, but on Instagram you don't own any of your pictures. So I don't think they actually do, but either way, the community was just like, oh, that's fine. We'll just put this over it because the community makes the coin, not the picture. But then the other day, Twitter removed its image, even though it was this image. Bird Eye removed its image for a day or two as well. The hits keep coming, yet the holder count keeps going up. And you can even see people swapping out of WIF currently into Sharkcat too. Out of Popcat into Shark. This person's smart. They're only doing it with $8, but still taking profit at the Popcat high and going into the bottom of the coin. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Anyways, I think that Sharkcat is going to go really high. It also has a chance to become $1 billion coin. Right now, buying it 90% down off the all-time high, off all the war news, off the legal battles with the Instagram account, off all the FUD. I think it's insane if you don't put a little bit of your money into this right now. Super bullish on Sharkcat. You haven't looked at this in a while. So this is always a good chart to look at because if you were looking at it, or I imagine I put this up here on stream. Maybe I did it privately, but pretty obvious level. I bet you that's probably a really nice weekly or 3-day candle that I highlighted. And you caught the top of the total market cap if you were paying attention to total. You even got a good bearish retest into it twice to de-risk. This looks like Bitcoin, huh? And it did sweep the low, which is nice. So total swept the low. I'm gonna expect this to be the low. If we lose it and reject, we'll probably want to look into this region next, the hold. They also have this support right underneath it, under these lows. So maybe just DCA a little bit into it and save your ammo for if you come all the way down here, or if you get reclaims. I think the low's in though. I imagine it's gonna be pretty hard to flip this level, but this is all-time highs. We still have to see some closes. Technically this is the level, but I feel like it here more. So basically closes above its local highs in order to have a chance to flip new highs. And if you're not fully allocated by the time we do something like this, then that's your go all in. But I think the bottom's in for now. Ready for round 2 of the bull market. Total 3, same thing. Whole plan was just accumulation long term. We've basically been doing that. We didn't even come to this high yet. A lot of that I'm sure is Ethereum's weakness. There's just so many altcoins now too. The market's pretty diluted. I think that'll pull back a little bit one more time into this region here. Maybe up, down. So pretty simple plans. But yeah, I guess overall, with the way the dollar looks, with the way equities look, with the way news has, the way the market's reacted to the news, GCR, there's so many things. Like I think the bottom's in, so ready to go higher. It could chop around a bit when you look at the total 3, but just look for your isolated plays. So that's gonna run. Cat coins are running really hard, so probably dog coins are gonna go next, right? At least that's how I've been playing. I've been mostly just playing memes and AI. So yeah, that's the plans for now.
Cool beans. Thanks, Eddie. If you are enjoying our content, please give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button for more trading, crypto, and overall market content. And with that, we go over to GForce.
Yeah, thanks, Pepe. All right, so the legacy markets have tanked, as everybody knows. The news with Iran attacking Israel and the Middle East tensions, things of that nature. This is the S&P 500 chart, and I always do that one first, and it's always a daily chart. So if you're looking at it, we had a double top way back here in March and April. And I basically was saying once it got past this midpoint line right here, around 5,200, it's just going to drop, which it did. For legacy markets to be trading below a 2x band, which is this band here, this blue one, that's extreme. So we've had extreme for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days where it's traded between the lower 2x band and the lower 3x band. This is all extreme for legacy markets to be trading in this band range. So we got a pop yesterday. It closed above the 5,000 level, which I'll just move this to here. And then it's popped up today. It looks like it's going to run up to 5,100. But what I really liked is that legacy markets always fill in the gap. Okay, so I have a large gold rectangle here because there was a gap back here back on February 21st and a gap up at the open on February 22nd. And it just took off from there and formed a double top. All these little purple gap rectangles are gaps that got filled in. This one never got filled in. So I was wondering when we were up here at the double top, how is that gap going to get filled in? Is it going to get filled in? It will get filled in. So the Iran-Israel news is the news and the motivator that dropped the markets down to fill in that gap. Okay, so that gap is now filled in. So we should start hitting higher, which the last 2 days would. I'm expecting it to get to 5,100. We'll see what it does at that level. And then maybe it'll get above to the standard deviation line. So that's the S&P 500. It did what it's supposed to do, fill in that gap, which all legacy markets do, and now it's popping back up. I'm just going to show VIX. VIX, I'm going to throw this in real quick, is just popping up above the 16 level, got all the way to the 18 and the 21 level because of war news. It has been so low end of last year and the first part of this year, below 14 and 15, that the VIX is finally active. So that's good news for option trades and people that play volatility. This is the dollar index. Okay, it's, as you can see, it had this range here that these are long ranges. I still continue things on my chart. I never rush anything on my charts because sometimes a year later or 6 months later, things pop up and it looks clear. So it's just been going up since crypto was going down. Now it's trading sideways, and it's just trying to figure out what to do. Obviously, this was on war news popping up, not as much as gold, but it definitely popped, and it's going to stay in this higher range. Again, it was in extremes above the 2x band and trading between the upper 2x band and the 3x band as well. Moving on to interest rates and the US 10-year yield. Okay, so basically this is interest rates. The 10-year is the leader in bonds and things of that nature and what interest rates are going to do. So that's why I do the 10-year. As you can tell, it's also with war news, it popped up, traded above the 2x band, the upper band, and trading between the 2x upper band and the 3x upper band. Got to extremes. It got up to basically at this level 4.67%, and then it's coming back a little bit. If you follow anything I do in the DeFi Discord, I'm just saying interest rates are just going to keep going up. There's no economic news that's saying the economy is slowing down, and so the Federal Reserve is just going to have to push it up. But also the biggest thing is that auctions, the buyers of U.S. bonds at the auctions are demanding higher yield. That is also pushing things up, and it's hard for the Federal Reserve Bank to manipulate that market. They have to figure out how to get this inflation under control. Moving on to gold. It's just been parabolic. I've been talking about this for quite a while, actually a couple months now. You can see since the 1st of March, right here, when gold was down here at 2033, it's just popped up, formed a triangle, popped out of the triangle, just ran up. This is parabolic. I keep saying that, but gold doesn't really do this ever. So now it's dropped. It dropped quite a bit, 61 points yesterday because of the tension between Iran and Israel getting less, supposedly. What I was wondering, and I put this in TA charts yesterday, what's it going to do around the standard deviation line? Is it going to drop below it, which it did today? Here, I'll open that up a little bit more. It did today, but now you see it wicked down and it's wicking back up. So people aren't ready to sell off on gold, even though yesterday was a big sell-off. I still think, this range, it'll stay around the standard deviation line, but I do think it's going to go to 2,400. You see it whipped up to it on April 12th, didn't like it, came back, whipped up on it on Friday, this last Friday, came back down. So now it's trying to figure itself out and see if it wants to push higher. So I'm still looking at that 2,500 level, 2,400, and see what gold will actually close above that level. If it does, that'll be significant. Okay, that's it for me.
I had a question for GForce, actually. It was just a quick question about gold and how does it normally correlate with the elections and stuff? Because obviously elections coming up, and as far as the market go, I guess the market normally trends up and then potentially after an election, possible sell-off. But how does the gold relationship usually go? Because this election is probably going to be pretty important.
Yeah, Trill, definitely. This election is very important. It's a very dramatic election, very polarized. Two sides. There's no middle ground these days. So gold has been pushing up because of that uncertainty. In normal elections, it doesn't. It just flattens out and just does its thing. But since we have such extremes in candidates and extremes in philosophies and political policies, that the gold's pushed up, the markets don't like uncertainty, so people move to gold for uncertainty. And then having the geopolitical things going on with Ukraine and Russia, that's pushed gold up a little bit, but the real thing is Israel-Iran really pushed it up. I think somebody knew ahead of time, because gold really doesn't push up like this, and people really knew that the tensions in the Middle East were going to explode, and pardon the pun, but yeah, it just popped off.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I agree. I feel obviously weird with how the commodities been going up, and then obviously the tension happened after the fact. But yeah, I see what you're saying, how this is not a normal thing for gold to go up significantly during election time, but due to the state of the economy or geopolitical issues is playing a factor for the reason for gold moving like that.
Yeah, exactly. Gold didn't even move like this back in 2008 at the financial crisis. I mean, it moved up, but it wasn't like this, where it went so high in such a short time.
Yeah, hopefully the future isn't as bad as, whatever, who knows what the government could do. But yeah, definitely seems like something is coming with how commodities are moving.
Yep, something's coming down the pipeline.
All right, and that is it for this week. Remember, our trading algos are currently in beta testing in Astrobit. You can use our affiliate link for Blowfin to get cash back at the end of the campaign. Their proof of reserves are verifiable on Nansen, so you can ensure funds are SAFU. Join our Discord right now, and we will see you next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for TA Tuesday. GM friends.
Join us next week in Discord for TA Tuesday at DeFi-Logic.com.